Hi, welcome to MaestroMovement. My name is Manny, and I really want to thank you for being here. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day, and I hope you get to learn something from this video. You should already have a band that looks like this. Before we get started, there's some ideas that I want to explain that I think are very important and that you're going to need to understand as we do this video. And these ideas I want you to take with you and apply it to everything you do when you exercise, when you walk, or when you're just, hanging around. Before I get to that, though, I do want you to break in your band. So these bands can be a little stiff. So the way we're going to break this in is I want you to just grab a piece of the band. You're going to stretch it. Then you're going to slowly move down, stretch the other side. Just keep doing that till you get to the other side of the band. That way, when we start to do this stuff, the band isn't too stiff. You can also kind of do this, and you can keep doing this as I explain these ideas, okay? So, over the last 10 years of training, I've had a really big interest in biomechanics and learning how the body moves and being an efficient mover. And over all those years of learning, the best thing that I've learned was that everything you do should be to have perfect balance in every step. When you have good balance, you're going to have good stability, you're going to be stronger, you're going to have suppleness. When we don't have balance, that's when the body starts to kind of break down, because the entire body works with tension. Sometimes you can see this with people walking in the street. They're kind of lopsided or they have some dysfunction, and you're going to experience a lot of tension and tightness with that. So the better balance you have, your body understands that as being safe. So muscles are a lot looser, more relaxed, and you're just going to feel stronger, you're going to feel stable, you're going to be supple. Okay? So let's get started with this, kind of the thought process of that. So I just said that everything we do is going to be for perfect balance. So there's 3 positions you can be in. First, feet next to each other, hip width apart is going to give me really good balance. And my body's going to be right over both feet. And I want you to think about balancing your weight perfectly through the entire foot. Okay? Now, this is what we call bilateral. If I want to go unilateral, which meaning one leg or one foot, my body has to shift the weight over to maintain the perfect balance. So if I pick up my right leg, my body is going to shift its weight over to my left, and I'm going to have my head over my foot. Same thing goes the other way. If I go onto my right foot, I have to shift my weight over to the right, and my head is going to go over my foot. Okay? This concept of head over foot is very important when you're in the unilateral stance. And everything we'll do is going to be to promote head over foot. This is from this guy named David Weck. He created the Bozu ball, and it's so useful and it's very easy to understand. So let's get to it. Head over foot to promote perfect balance. Okay. Now, to start off here, we're going to wrap this band around our hand here on both sides, and you're going to go about shoulder width apart. Okay. So we're going to start with unilateral stuff. I'm going to do everything unilateral, and then we will move to bilateral. Okay. So here, I'm trying to promote the weight shift from one side to the other, meaning one over 1 foot. And the way to do that is I want you to think about, we're going to try and get one side to be long and one side to be short. And this is where we want the spine to start to bend. Your spine is not meant to be stiff. Your spine is meant to be very mobile, and it's strong in many, many different positions. Okay? So the way we do this is we're going to get this band, we're going to create a little bit of tension. I want you to go right over your head and really reach through the roof here, okay? So you're going to start to break this band apart to create some tension here, and you're going to pull one arm down, and I want you to think about pulling your elbow to your back pocket here. So it's not pulling the elbow just to the side, it's pulling the elbow back into this back pocket, okay? And what that's going to do is it's going to get the obliques, it's going to get the lower back, it's going to get the whole left side of your body to become short, and we're going to get the right side of the body to get long. And you're going to see that my weight is going to be shifted here, and I'm trying to find really good balance, and I'm trying to get a really big and nice stretch of my right side here, okay? And we're going to do the same thing to the left side. I have a timer going up here. You may not be able to see it, but I can keep my eye on it. We're going to hold each stretch for about 30 seconds to 45 seconds, okay? If you feel like you need to go longer or shorter, that's completely fine. Okay, so we're going to come up, create some tension here, pull the band down, and we're trying to make sure you don't get your head to come over and you stay within the foot. So remember, head over foot. It's easy to use a mirror here. I actually suggest for you to use a mirror. And we're just gonna kind of hold this. I'm pulling the band apart. My left side is short, which if you're watching this video is gonna be on your right side. And my right side is long, which is your left side if you're watching this video. And I'm breathing into this area here, trying to open up my lower back, open up the obliques, open up the hip here. Sorry, we got a couple more seconds here. Keep going. Don't stop. We got 10 seconds. Keep it going here. Remember, it's elbow to the back pocket and just breathe and open up the right side. 3, 2, good. Okay, now we're going to go over to this other side here. Same exact thing. We're going to get resistance, elbow to back pocket, and now I'm shortening my right side and lengthening my left side. I'm shifting my weight over. It should naturally happen, so you don't have to do it yourself, but you should feel your weight shifting. Remember, we're trying to open now this back side here and the obliques. Nice, keep going. We have about another 15 seconds here. Good, keep breathing, keep pulling the band apart, and you're pulling this arm down and elbow to your back pocket. We have about 3 seconds. And time. Nice. So it's really important that we do this because I'm going to show you what integrated movement is. Integrated movement just means the entire body is working together from head to toe. And in my opinion, it's the best way to train because you become a better mover. Your body is super smart. All the joints, all the different sections of your body understand how to work together. And when we lose that connection, that's when problems start to happen. So that was basic one step. Now we're gonna get this hip hike where we want the hip and the elbow to meet together because that's gonna activate the deep core muscles, the deep oblique muscles, and just give us a bigger stretch on this other side. So I just said the body works together. So the more one side contracts, the other side is gonna stretch, okay? And that is true for the majority of the body everywhere you look. So let's go back to spreading the band here, get some tension, bring the elbow to the back pocket, and I'm going to get this hip hike where I'm meeting the left hip to the left elbow. If I go sideways, the hip is coming up and forward and the elbow is going back and down, okay? And now you are going to feel the weight on the other leg instead of the side that we're on, okay? And here, you're going to feel an even bigger stretch on your right side. So bringing this hip up, bring this elbow down, and you're going to start to feel the obliques really working hard, and you're going to really feel this side stretching. So the harder you squeeze here, the more of a stretch you get onto the right side. The harder I squeeze on my left, the more of a stretch I get on my right. And same thing, we're going to hold this for another 10 seconds here. Good. Get nice deep breaths. Now, when you first do this and relax, it may be hard to hike the hip. It may be hard to do pull down. It's all about practice. Grab a mirror, make sure the positioning is right. You may also experience some cramping. Do all this to where you feel comfortable, okay? You don't need to really stress or do anything crazy. I want this to feel like a nice stretch and a good hold on either side, okay? What we're trying to activate is those deep oblique muscles in your lats here to help the spine become very immobile and to help us learn how to shift our weight correctly, okay? Now, other side, reach up, create some tension, pull the right arm back and down towards the back pocket and bring the hip up and forward, okay? Again, the harder I squeeze here on my right side and make it short, the longer my left side gets, okay? I'm just holding here, give you guys a side angle here, and even a back angle here. So you guys can see like I'm really kind of side bending here with my spine, which is very, very important because our spines should be able to do that. Our spines are not meant to be stiff. Being stiff is one function of the spine, but it shouldn't be like that the entire time. You want your spine to be strong in many different positions. Got another like 5 seconds here. That way, when you're doing stuff or you turn around and grab something or pick something up, you're not throwing your back out. 3, 2, and time. Nice. So, I just showed you what we'd call the royal coil. Okay, you're coiling. The full coil is elbow to back pocket, hip up, and we get really tight on one side and we stretch the other side. Okay. Now, that is in a bilateral stance. Okay, so our feet are next to each other, hip width apart. Now we want to do this in a unilateral stance because remember, now I want to teach you all the unilateral stances here. So, the first one we're going to do here, left foot forward, right foot back. Okay, and I want the majority of my weight on the front foot. So if I show you this side view here, actually let's go on this side. Left foot forward, right foot back. I'm not in between both feet. This back foot is not down. I'm shifting my weight to this front leg right here. Okay? This back foot here does not change my position, whether it's down or up. It doesn't change the position of where I'm at. I'm over the front leg. Okay? Now, what we're going to do here, we're going to come up, we're going to pull down and do the same exact thing. Okay? I'm going to bend the knee a little bit where my front leg accepts the weight. Remember, it's balance. So you want to bend the knee. The more you bend the knee, the more balance you can be on the foot. So to show you this way, I'm in a split stance. I come down, and you see how I have my head over my foot here? This is where we're going to promote really good balance. We're taking that royal coil, so the hip comes up to meet the elbow, and now we're going to get a bigger stretch of the hip flexors, so all these muscles right here, and the hip. And now this is where we're going to start to find perfect balance when we go single leg. Remember, if I have perfect balance here, I can pick up this foot back here, and it doesn't change my position because all my weight is over the front foot. Okay, this is perfect balance here. I'm gonna hold this for another 5 seconds here. We're still trying to breathe. You can kind of pull the band apart, pull down, tightening my left side and lengthening my right side, and relax. Good. Now we're going to go do the same exact thing on the other side here. Pull down and stretch. Remember, head over foot, I have perfect balance. If I pick up this back leg, it does not change my position here. So I'm going really nice with all my weight on the front foot. Pull down and pull. By this point, you should really start to feel your obliques and your lats working, even your glutes and your legs here, because all the weight's going to be sitting. Remember, I got to bend the knee a little bit so I can get all the weight on my foot. Wait for another 5 seconds here. 3, 2, and time. Nice. So, we've learned the royal coil with feet next to each other. Leg 4, this is what we call front side. Okay, front side. I want you to think that was more of like walking, running. It's just the basic position of that. Now, there's also a back side. So we're going to stay on the same side. We're going to start with our left. So we're going to come up. But instead of having our left foot come forward, we're going to take a step back here, okay, with the left foot. And now we're going to shift our weight back into the back leg and bring that back elbow into here. Okay, so now the positioning is different. So I'm here and I'm back over to this side. This position can be a little different or difficult for some people just because it's not a position you're usually in. But you come down and I'm still hiking this hip, trying to make it meet the elbow. And again, if I lift my front leg here now, it does not change the position that I'm in. Okay, so I'm here. Still head over foot, and I'm back, trying to get my left side to be really tight and my right side to be really long, okay? And still breathing into the right side, opening up my back. Good. For another 5 seconds here. Get a nice big stretch. Remember, we're trying to find perfect balance over our feet here. And nice. Take a little break here, shake the body out. Those positions can be a little challenging. Remember, do what you can, what you're comfortable with. Now, we're going to do the same thing for the other side. I'm going to take a step back with my left, or I can bring my right foot back, left foot forward. Comes up, create a little bit of tension. I'm pulling my right arm to the back pocket, and I'm bringing my right hip up to meet the elbow, up and forward. I'm stretching, and now remember, all my weight is on this back leg right here, okay? If I lift the front foot, it does not change my position. All the weight's here. Remember, you gotta bend the knee in order to fully get your weight onto the entire foot. Push your weight into the foot, okay? I'm here. If I turn around, you get this positioning here, head over foot. Big length over my left side, really nice and tight on my right side. Okay? Keep going here, you're still going, don't stop. If you need to take a break, take a break. My timing's a little off, but the point is just to hold this for 30 to 45 seconds. Doesn't need to be too on the dot, just whatever you feel comfortable. You're also going to find, if you've been doing this, that one side is easier than the other. You get a bigger stretch on one side than the other. Keep that in mind, okay? If you're getting a big stretch, it probably means you need to stretch that side out. If you don't really feel much on one side, that means that side's already kind of used to that position. A lot of us will have compensations, and this is where you get to start to learn your body a little bit, okay? Now, we've practiced all those positionings, okay? We're in unilateral, so the only positions I want you to think about right now, the royal coil is just your basic. You're going to use that for everything. So that wasn't part of the unilateral stances, okay? We did front foot forward here, and we also did backside. Now we're going to get a little more dynamic with these, okay? So if you can't do these standing up and you find them difficult, you can come down onto your knees and kind of get in a unilateral stance. But otherwise, do this standing up. Again, do whatever you can. You don't have to do anything too hard. It's just at your comfort level, okay? Now we're going to do this thing where I want you to get the band, cross your arms here. Okay? You're going to reach underneath the arm with your right and underneath the arm with your left. Okay? And we're going to pull apart. This is what we call steering, okay? You're going to have a little more, gotta make sure I don't hit my mic here. You're going to have a little more tension. It's going to feel a little better, okay? So we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to be using the steering from now on, okay? We're going to go back to here. And I just want you to shift your weight back and forth again. My obliques are starting to really get tired and feel all the movement we've been doing. And we're just going to go back and forth here for another 30 to 45 seconds. And now the steering, this tension we create as we pull the band apart, is going to help us still get the same exact feeling, but with the band now here in a shorter position where we create tension. Remember, we're still trying to find perfect balance. We're pushing all the weight into the foot and push the weight out, okay? Continue to do this. I have about another 5 seconds here. You can go a little longer. My timing's not perfect, but I just want you to get the sense of this, okay? It's just about practice. Keep practicing to find perfect balance. Now, that was the first position we practiced. We're here, right? Now we got to practice this back position. So with this now, because the weight starts back here, I want you to think about shifting your weight forward, okay? I actually want you to rock back and forth as you do this. So I'm going to show you what we're doing here. Create the tension. Go back to that position we practiced. Now all my weight's on this back leg. Remember, if I pick up my right foot, or my front foot, it doesn't change my position. And now I'm coming forward, and I'm almost thinking about like I'm elbowing or throwing an uppercut here, okay? Now we're really going to open up these hip flexors. Nice. This should also kind of feel like it's an uppercut, like you're swinging a bat. If you're straight on here, if you play golf, you're swinging the golf club here. So we're going to go back and practice that. I'm going to show you this front view. And we're going to do another 15 seconds here, okay? So we're back here, come forward, shift the weight back, shift the weight forward, shift the weight back, shift the weight forward. Nice. And we're going to be working both sides here. With the other one, it's easy to shift from side to side. It is here too, but I'd rather just stay on one side and kind of practice this in time. Now we switch to the other. Good. All the weights in the back, create the tension, shift the weight forward, come through. Good. Again, remember how I said we want the spine to be really strong in multiple positions. The obliques, the lower back, the big muscles on the back side here are important for that. The thoracic spine, all that stuff is really important to keep the spine healthy. And the more balance you have, the safer you're going to be. Okay? You're going to keep going, shifting away back and forth, back and forth. Nice. Okay, so we're going to practice that again. You can pause the video, you can keep going, but I want you to do 3 rounds of that. So to kind of go over what we just did, I want you to only do the steering. So arms come across, foot comes forward, and you shift your weight from side to side. You're practicing unilateral stances here to get your head over your foot and find perfect balance. Remember, push the weight into the foot, push the weight out. So you're going to do that position back here, the back side, and you're going to come forward, rock your weight back and forth. Okay? You're going to practice those 2. You're going to do a couple rounds, do 30 seconds of each, do 3 rounds, and then we're going to come back to this video. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and move on to the next stage. So, in the beginning I taught you guys that there was bilateral stance, and we did the royal coil, bringing the hip up on both sides, to then unilateral stances, whereas this position, and then when we go back side coils, and the first one was front side coils. Now, it's really nice to feel each individual side coil, because you can get really nice and deep, where you get a nice deep lap feeling and the oblique feeling, and you can really kind of focus on closing on one side and stretching on the other. Okay? What happens when you're in a bilateral position? Well, because you've already primed all these muscles to go from side to side, now it's easier to do both sides, where you pull both elbows down and back into those back pockets, and you promote this nice big extension of the body, or opening of the body. So we're going to practice that same thing. I want you to come in here. Band goes across, hand goes underneath, hand goes underneath. You can kind of get this rounding of the spine, which I'm absolutely okay with. Okay, you should be able to round and extend the spine. Flex, extend, that's what we like to say. So here we're going to work on pulling the band and pulling the chest through. Okay? This can be a little uncomfortable, so just kind of find a position where this feels comfortable for you. I got to make sure my mic doesn't get messed up. I open up the body here, okay? And we're pulling the elbows into the back pocket and getting this big extension, okay? I want you to practice it. We're going to do this for another 15 seconds, where we just pull and open up the chest. Round, open, round, open. And it's going to help us go from flexion to extension, and we're finding really good balance here, okay? That one's pretty easy. That's all it really is. Pull the elbows down and back to promote extension, and you come forward to get flexion, okay? Now let's make it a little more dynamic here. We're going to come across. Feet are going to be together. Remember, we're trying to find good balance. Here, now we're going to go into a little squat like you're doing a cannonball. You're going to come down, load your feet, push your feet, open up the chest. Come down, round, open up the chest. Come down, open up the chest. I'm going to show you the side view of this. I come down around my back, get a nice stretch of the lower back and upper back, and I come up and I fully extend. Come down, fully extend. And I'm doing this one for about a minute, okay? Once you've done that, do that 3 times, and now you have learned unilateral stances, bilateral stances, how to find perfect balance, and how to make your spine feel nice. You're going to get a lot of oblique, a lot of lower back, all those muscles that are strong to keep your spine very mobile. You're going to get those muscles working. And in the process, you're going to find what perfect balance is, and you're going to feel the strength because you have the stability, you have the balance, and your body's going to feel a little looser, it's going to feel a little better, and that's what suppleness is. So, I hope this video helped. Once again, I want to thank you for joining me. I hope these bands are useful. Please use them. If you feel like you won't use them, give them to someone else. Let them watch this video. You can do this with any band. I just like to use these smaller ones because it's a little nicer. And I hope you keep practicing, and maybe in the future we can work together. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed that.